Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us once again for the SAF Weekly Recap. I am Bill Sack, Director of Legal Operations with the Second Amendment Foundation, and this is what SAF was up to for the week ending March 6th, 2026. All right, first up, SAF. In the legal world, you know that we stay busy. The litigation team always churning out more work on your behalf. This past week was no exception. We filed two big briefs this past week. The first with the Supreme Court, our reply to our petition for certiorari in Skoenthal v. Raoul. That is, of course, our Illinois mass transit carry ban case coming out of the District of Illinois and the Seventh Circuit. With our reply now filed, that should be the conclusion of the briefing that is necessary on our cert petition. And so we will now wait and see if the court distributes us for conference and when. Our second big brief that we filed last week was with the Third Circuit Court of Appeals in my home circuit here, in a case called Defense Distributed versus Attorney General of New Jersey. In this case, we have filed a First and Second Amendment challenge to New Jersey's 3D gun printing distribution ban. We got a panel decision that made a number of procedural and technical errors, or so we believe. And we have now petitioned the Third Circuit to reconsider their panel decision, and if the panel is not inclined to do so, to have the entire en banc court take a look at it and see if it can fix some of the things that we believe the panel got wrong. You can read both our reply in Skoenthal and our petition for reconsideration in Defense Distributed at SAF.org and at the link below. All right, want to support all of the great work that we are doing here at Second Amendment Foundation, including the filing of important briefs like we just discussed in Skoenthal and Defense Distributed. Please visit saf.org/give or /join or /donate. I think any of them work, candidly. Become a member. Make a one-time donation. Make a recurring donation. You can give us crypto. You can give us stocks, I believe. There's all sorts of other fancy things for much wealthier people than me that are beyond my comprehension. But please do consider supporting the good work here. Last year, we are proud to report that over 81% of every dollar that we got went directly to the mission of protecting, securing, and expanding the Second Amendment rights for all of us here and in the future. Please do consider supporting saf.org/donate. Thank you. Next up in SAF news, last week we finally and formally opened registration for GRPC. That is right, the Gun Rights Policy Conference 2026. We encourage everyone to come join us. If you are not familiar with GRPC, it is the premier gun rights advocacy and legal work conference. It has been going on for over 40 years. This year it is going to be in Dallas, Texas, at the Westin Marriott Dallas Airport, I think the thing is called. You know that the food's going to be good. Lots of good barbecue in Dallas. Not a bad steak to be had in nearby Fort Worth. We encourage you to come join us. Registration is now open. There are multiple days of speakers. You hear from tastemakers, activists, lawmakers, attorneys, us here at Second Amendment Foundation staff, to hear all about what it is that's going on in the current Second Amendment fight and where we're going. Please do consider joining us. It's a great time, and you get fed while you're there. saf.org/GRPC. GRPC registration is open. It is September 25th to the 27th this year. It's always the end of September. So September 25th to the 27th, Dallas, Texas. Mark your calendars. We'll see you there. All right, folks, next up in this weekly recap for the week ending March 6, 2026, we have some SAF corporate sponsor news. We love our friends in the industry when they support the Second Amendment rights of their staff, their customers, and quite frankly, us. We have three great announcements for corporate sponsorships that we released last week. First up, Smith & Wesson and Guns.com have put together a special auction benefiting the Second Amendment Foundation. That auction starts Monday the 9th, so just this past Monday. Please check it out. You can own a really cool auction package which is up on guns.com. The link is below. We highly encourage you to check that out. My understanding is it's a pretty limited package, and probably something especially Smith & Wesson collectors are going to want. Next up, we are thrilled that Taurus has renewed their sponsorship with Second Amendment Foundation as a gold level sponsor. Shout out to Caleb Giddings over at Taurus, who's doing great things. If you are not following him as Radicaleb on Instagram and looking at all the fantastic things that he is doing, shooting Taurus's new wheel guns, which look awful nice, quite frankly. Do I need like a 3-inch revolver with an acro on it? Maybe I do. Thank you to Taurus for joining us, renewing as a gold member sponsor. And last but certainly not least, we have a new sponsor that we are thrilled to announce, and that's Die Free Co. Die Free Co. has a lot of great hard goods, soft goods, accessories, stuff to bolt onto your gun. They joined us as a silver level sponsor. I know that I really like my Die Free Co. Kung Fu grip. If you are not familiar, it's a great little kind of like compact AR grip with a nice vertical grip angle. It's kind of great for like a little 11.5 gun. I have it on my 11.5 300 blackout gun. It's a great little grip. It feels super comfy in the hand, and it stipples real well because, quite frankly, I cannot be trusted around a soldering iron. Die Free Co., thank you guys for joining us at silver level, and stay tuned for more news. All right, folks, one of y'all's favorite parts of these recap video series is the explanation of what our sweepstake is. Sweepstakes for the month happens to be, this month it's another banger. It's an agency build with Ruger. So it starts off as a Ruger RXM pistol, which, as you guys probably know, is kind of like a Glock-ish clone. But what they did is they made the fire control group its own removable piece, kind of like some other pistol that we are all familiar with. So what it lets you do is swap grip modules and get even more modularity to the system. So we started with a Ruger RXM, and then Agency Arms kind of went nuts all over it. So what you get is you get a super rad agency cut slide. It has their AOS system because you're going to want to put an optic on it. It has a C, they call it, I think, the C port barrel. So it's got a ported barrel, just has like a tiny little port that sticks out the front, which looks really rad. And it has an Icarus Precision grip because with that trigger module modularity, you can put whatever grip you want on it. So you get like this really sick looking Icarus Precision grip module. So the whole thing together is really a rad little package. It's got an agency tuned trigger in it. The thing's worth like over $2,000 MSRP. We highly suggest you get in on this one early and often. It looks like it's a pretty fun pistol to shoot. I kind of want one, frankly. Check it out. Links below. Thank you to our friends at Agency Arms and Ruger for this month's sweepstakes. Go get this pistol, everybody. All right. Who actually likes to sit down with 2 fingers of bourbon, heck, maybe 2A bourbon, and actually like hold something in your hand and read it, maybe by a roaring fire, by the fire pit outside, maybe on your deck with a cigar? Just have an opportunity to put the phone down for a minute and not read everything digitally and fry your corneas. If you are like me and like having those moments, at least, once or twice throughout the week, I really encourage you to consider subscribing to Field Ethos in print. You guys are all undoubtedly aware of Field Ethos and what they do, chronicling their outdoor adventures, their historical perspectives, telling great stories through history, whether they be about armed conflict or hunting or adventure, or just frankly kind of the philosophy of the unapologetic man. Field Ethos has been a fantastic friend and partner here of us at Second Amendment Foundation, and I think it's really cool that they do a print edition that you can actually sit with and touch and hold and dog ear some pages, and when you're done, hand it to a buddy. I think that's a really neat thing that they do. It kind of speaks to their old school ethos. I certainly appreciate it, and yeah, if you do too, subscribe to Field Ethos in print. Links below. All right, folks, we have reached the end of the SAF Weekly Recap for the week ending March 6, 2026. As you know by this point, if you have made it this far, the last thing that we do in these recaps is talk about a case highlight for one of the 55 pieces of litigation that we currently involved in on your behalf. We have been trudging our way through all of the cases that we currently have for you before the Supreme Court. This week, we have highlighted Viramontes v. Cook County. That is, of course, Cook County, Illinois, who was one of the old school assault weapons bans. Cook County had an assault weapons ban before the state of Illinois followed suit, wanted to be copycats. We have challenged, of course, both the Cook County, Illinois assault weapons ban as well as the Illinois state assault weapons ban. The Viramontes case out of Cook County has made it a little bit further along the way than our other case, which is called Harrell. Viramontes is currently sitting up before the Supreme Court on a fully briefed petition for certiorari. We are waiting for the court to either grant or deny our petition for cert. We are certainly hopeful that, as Judge Kavanaugh said last term, that in the next term or two, the court will finally take up an assault weapons ban, and by golly, this would be a good one. Please check out Viramontes v. Cook County of Illinois. You can read the entire docket, including all of our Supreme Court briefing on this case at saf.org. Please check us out. Thank you once again for joining us for the SAF Weekly Recap for this week ending March 6, 2026. I am Bill Sack, Director of Legal Operations with the Second Amendment Foundation, and we will see you all next week.